And it's a new day, talking about a lot of new things happening in the world. Today we're with Tristan, and Tristan has been asking me to do a podcast for some time, so we're finally getting it done, and we're gonna put it out. So he definitely likes talking about politics and sharing it online. So if you want to argue with him, go on Facebook and find it.
Yeah. I like to argue about politics, especially with liberals that just, kind of go off deep end with certain political issues.
I mean, we're gonna do some interesting stuff on this podcast because to me, I think a lot of times, like the stuff that I see, I'm not really, I'm never really been. I'm pretty open. I don't let, you know, I've always been kind of like on an in between status on a lot of stuff, but recently I gotta say that I think that the word liberal needs to be looked up and the definition needs to take place.
That is most definitely correct.
I'm at the point where I really just don't think that everybody knows what that word means.
Definition. Yeah.
But if they do, they really probably need to think about what it means. And are you the same liberal that you used to be? That's a good question, man, to me. What do you think?
I think the same thing too. I mean, I think that people really need to educate themselves on what certain words mean, what certain things mean.
It's true.
I mean,
I'll read the definition.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep going.
I think with liberal individuals, I think that they shoot up at the mouth and really don't know exactly what certain things mean.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if they educated themselves a little bit more as far as what things do mean, I think they would probably have a different mindset. But it's like they almost like turn on the TV, put it on CNN, and they say, "Oh my God, this is what's going on in the world today," but have no idea what everything means.
Yeah, I mean, a definition of liberal. It's an adjective. It says open to behavior of or opinions and willing to discard traditional values. Mm-hmm. Now, to me, that definition is I mean, I like traditional values, but I'm pretty liberal on my thoughts. So because I mean, I do a lot of really wild and crazy stuff, but it's also very open. But at the same time, when it comes to relationships and all these other things, I kind of want to keep it more of a traditional way. Like I'm not about cheating on my girlfriend and all this stuff. Like to me, you got to really think about the term liberal.
Well, also too, if you think about it, I mean, it's even with the country as a whole. I mean, tradition is something that we should hold dear because I think it's been tradition that's been able to keep this country together all these years.
Well, I don't really know what's kept the country together all these years personally. I don't. I mean, I would like to think that it had something to do with wanting to all exist as a human race.
Right, and not only that, but in this country,
as the years have gone by, I don't think that's getting to be that case anymore.
It's getting worse, and I think it's terrible for the country because I think at the end of the day, we have a disconnect between people. Those that consider themselves Democrats don't want to talk to those that consider themselves Republican, vice versa. And I think that we've gotten to that point because we, again, don't educate ourselves enough to understand what is going on. And, certain issues that the Democratic Party and liberals, stand for, I'm totally against as a person.
Right.
So it's like
I'm listening, I'm laughing though at the same time.
So it's like, for instance, I'm pro-life and, they're pro-abortion and stuff. And it's just like, it comes a time where you have to understand and realize that when someone is I say pregnant and has a child in the womb, it's like, that's a living thing.
Right.
And some people don't think of it as that. And that, I think, is what's terrible.
Well, I mean,
anymore.
The thing about it is, okay, like, to me, what we're laughing about, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what we're laughing about. Tristan took a picture of himself, like face down, straight up, saying, "I'm trying something new at the podcast," and he takes a picture of half of the ceiling. And people are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, he's certainly not trying to be a selfie photographer. He's definitely not training to be a selfie photographer today."
Yeah.
But no, I'm just joking. But okay, he's talking about abortion, and I think, people get triggered when they hear these words, like, big time, because, like, some people hear it, and especially if they've had an abortion, they're gonna fight to have one. Like, and that's the thing, like, and it's usually, for some reason, I don't know why, but what is it with the pink, blue, and green hair? Like, that people get so triggered. Like, they get triggered for some reason. I don't know what that is, but it is a pattern that I've noticed. But here's the thing. Like, yeah, I agree that people need the right to choose, about what they say or what they want to do with their body or whatever. But here's the thing. Like, when you see these women and they have a T-shirt that says, "I have 100 abortions,"
right,
or "I had 5 abortions," and they have a T-shirt that they're wearing it. I mean,
yeah,
that's murder.
Advertising.
Like, that's just trying
yeah.
to be an asshole. Like, to me, like, you're just pushing the envelope to try to make people think, oh, well, it's my choice. Because realistically, in another country, you'd probably be killed
for doing that.
Even thinking you can think that way. So, but whenever you go to a place and you hear a person like, I need to find her real name because her name is Abby. Abby used to work for Planned Parenthood. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I got to actually hear her speak January in D.C. At a Diamond and Silk show. And she was one of the guest speakers who spoke because she used to work for Planned Parenthood. She was hardcore Planned Parenthood, right? Mm-hmm. Until she realized that they were really, really not doing what they were stating they were doing. And she was actually in a room where it was taking place, and she saw the baby move in the womb.
Oh, wow.
And she realized that what they've been pumping her up with to go and,
totally
talk
false.
Hardcore is not true. And, the woman has I think she has like 8 kids.
Wow.
Yeah. So clearly, she's definitely for having children. I mean, she's definitely not somebody in that way. I want to look her real name up while we're talking, but I'm just saying, like, she is super passionate about talking against Planned Parenthood after what she saw, and probably has something to do with the fact that she was gung-ho for it forever, sold the idea to so many people, and then turned around and said, and I think she lived in Austin, Texas, of all places. Isn't
it amazing how people think a certain way one day, and like the next day they have a totally different opinion? It's almost like they fell asleep, woke up, and oh man, my thoughts and my beliefs are totally different now.
Abby Johnson is her name.
Johnson, okay.
And it's Abby. I mean, it basically says here she's an American anti-abortion activist who previously worked at Planned Parenthood as a clinic director. She resigned in October 2009. She states that she resigned after watching an abortion on ultrasound. And if you can ever hear her speak, you will absolutely, you won't be the same, because she's not propaganda in anything.
Right.
That's the word. That's the liberal word of 2020. Propaganda. They probably don't even know what that means. So let's read the definition of that too. Today's definition day. So
we're going to school today.
No, it's true, because I'm serious. I think a lot of people, they hear their parents say this shit and they don't even know what it means.
Correct.
It's true. Like the word liberal. It's true. I mean, information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause of our point of view. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's quite a few things that I think the Democratic side of the world needs to think about when they read that definition, because there's more hate spewing from that side than anything I see. Yeah. I mean, first of all, the silent majority is not the Democratic Party.
It is not.
Okay.
And I think they don't. It's almost like they don't believe that there's a silent majority either. And I think that after the election of President Trump, I think most of us can believe that there is a silent majority going on.
I would say there's definitely, you know, a silent majority. I mean, but I think that some of these silent people need to actually start speaking out more, because I think when their kids start hearing everything that they are hearing, even on the TV that you're watching as a silent majority, I mean, your kids are picking up all the shit.
Yeah.
I mean, your kids are going to wind up thinking, my mom watched it, maybe I should watch it too, and be what they're watching. I mean, you need to talk to your children, because they are talking to their children. The liberal view is talking to their kids. I promise.
have always believed, and I still believe this to this day, everything starts at the dinner table. So, if you're...
Does the dinner table even exist anymore?
No, I don't really think so, to be honest with you.
I don't think so either. Okay, no, I mean, it does.
But it's in a political standpoint, it almost doesn't.
Yeah.
Because, parents are not having those discussions with their kids, and they're just letting their kids go, off to college or even in high school to some degree, and these teachers and professors and stuff are just giving them what their beliefs are. And it's like the kids are just going off of that, and the parents are not trying to counter that situation.
Well, I think that somewhere along the line in the last 10 years, even while Obama was in office, I have to say, parents somewhere along the line, they go to work, they bust their ass. Some of them, look, I get it. Like, some of the men need to step the fuck up in this country, because they don't take care of what they're supposed to take care of either. Mm-hmm. I know many of them. So, like, and that's the thing. Like, and it's just not cool.
And it's
like,
just not.
It's not.
It's not cool, but it's not just one race or one. It's all men.
No, it's just, if you have a penis, even if you think you're a woman, you should step up and take care of your kid if you have a child. Because it's true. I mean, some of these guys who think they're women, I mean, they can still get you pregnant. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. That's the thing. I don't know if people realize that. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm being serious. If you have a penis and it ejaculates, you can have a child. So, I mean, that's the truth. I mean, it sounds crazy to say it that way, but realistically, it's true. Yeah. So, I think people need to hear it, because, I don't know too many people that can have a baby. Like, I saw that last week. I was like, this guy believed he had a baby, and I was like, well, probably not.
No.
The way you think you did.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the line, somebody put that in his head.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like, and I think, like I was saying, even during the second term of Obama, the iPad and the iPhone became a babysitter to a lot of kids, and those cartoons and all these different things. Now we're finding out Nickelodeon actually had producers that are pedophiles.
Correct.
So, I mean, what exactly was your kid learning?
Right.
Because I sat down with a couple of, times and watched what they were watching, and they were talking about nanotechnology on the children's show at 4.
I think where parents kind of fell at with children that young is allowing them to watch certain shows like that and not trying to do anything.
A lot of them had no idea what they were saying, though.
The thing about it is they're not paying attention, number one, and number two, to me, a child that young, you should be trying to let them watch more educational things that for a fact that they're learning something and not just...
I get it. But the best thing to do is sit down with your child and learn with your child.
Correct.
Because if you don't like what the child's learning, you should turn the shit off.
That is for sure.
That's like the number one thing to me. Like, if you don't really know what this kid's learning, I mean, I would rather my kids, like, be there with me. I mean, because I remember, look, when I had a stepdaughter, she was in my lap. I was showing her how to build laptops. That she had to be in the room. Mm-hmm. She could not be in the room. So I said, okay, you're going to come in the room.
You can learn something.
Yes. And at that point, I said, this is what a keyboard is. We take it apart. And things that way, And to me, I miss that. I do. And I think that that's the thing, where kids, they want to be up your butt and listen to what you're doing, because you are their parent.
Right.
It's
about being a parent. Because, I mean, I could remember growing up, of course, my mom was always the enforcer, but it was like, I had that know that you screw up, there's consequences, and I think that's what a lot of the issue is too, is that kids are getting away with a lot, and there's no consequences.
Well, the consequences are getting more weird.
Weird, correct? Yeah.
So today the consequences are basically in the next 20 years, you may not have a country.
Yeah.
That's the consequence today. You know.
Because this younger generation is leaning more towards socialism, and that's the scary part.
And they don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
They think they do. That's why I'm getting to the definitions of things, because we talk about this in some other podcasts that I do on YouTube with the groups of people from California, and we talked about this a couple of times, the definitions of what things actually mean, and we talk about it also on. We're going to talk about it soon on a couple of other video podcasts. So get ready, because if you like videos, we're going to be posting some of those as well. So we have the word, pence. If you've ever looked that word up, this is the definition of pence. And I'm saying pence first because I've done all this stuff and I know what it means. So, and I thought it was very strange when I started analyzing what the words mean. So the first thing that comes up is a penny. So the word pence is the plural form of penny. And, what do you mean by pence? It's asking me that. A plural of penny, used in referring to a sum of money rather than to the coins themselves. Often used in combination, the fare was 15 pence. But really what it means is penny. Penniless. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what's funny to me is that meanings and names do have some significance in the future of what those people actually do to me, like when I research it. Exactly. So when I look at, search for the word pence, and it tells me definition is penny, it means, in a way, penniless. So when you look up the Trump definition, it says, trumped. And, this stuff kind of does have a lot of really interesting meanings when you look at the definitions of these names. What does trump mean? It says, to trump is to outrank or defeat someone or something, often in a highly public way. Originally, trump implied a deceptive form of victory involving cheating, but that sense has been largely lost, though it's still around in the term trumped up, meaning something that's been falsely made up. So all Trump talks about is fake news. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of strange when you think about the definition, right?
Yeah,
it's true. It is. And then you look up Pelosi, and it says sexually transmitted disease. No, I'm just joking. No, it basically just gives who she is. But the thing about it is if you break her name down, you will learn that, what is the meaning of Pelosi? It's an Italian surname that may refer to following people. 50, it just says, Speaker of the House. It doesn't really say much else. It doesn't really have a real meaning. So you'd probably have to go, this is funny. It says the Urban Dictionary meaning is to rip up a written speech or other document. I'm dead serious. Yeah. Isn't that funny?
That's crazy.
It says, I handed my resignation letter to my boss, but he Pelosi'd it because he wanted something. Yeah. So basically now that she's done what she's done, there's now an Urban Dictionary term that means to rip it up.
Isn't that insane?
I think that's very weird. So it says an Italian masculine plural of adjective, peloso, which means means hairy. It actually means hairy, it says. Like hairy, like a hairy bear. It means hairy. Okay. Wow. She's pretty hairy, all right.
Yeah, she's a lot of things for sure.
So, but the thing about it is, some people like her, and I can't believe that. But I wouldn't want to hang out with her.
Well, the thing about it is those that do like her, they're the ones that are going for everything she's for, of course, So I mean,
Well,
people are gonna like her.
Get this right. Right, 2 clicks down, it says definition of socialism. So when you pull up Pelosi, it can't. Apparently, it's keyed up to socialism, right? So it says political and economic theory of social organization, which advocates that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned or regulated by the community as a whole. Now, that's not the definition of socialism. Okay? It's not.
Right.
So that's a really cute definition, though, because that sounds like fun and awesome in a perfect world. But the thing about it is if that's really what socialism is, I don't think anybody would be bitching about socialism.
No.
They changed the definition of socialism, apparently.
Yeah.
To me, because
I just think that if we're
it says in Marxist theory, which is really what you should be reading,
right.
A traditional social state between the overthrow of capitalism and the realizations of communism. And to me, I'm going to do a little thing with this because I could tell you this, dude, that is not the real definition of socialism.
Right. And I don't think a lot of people realize this, but, Venezuela's brought up a lot in politics today as far as what socialism looks like and all these good things, or bad things, I should say. But if you think about it, Venezuela, before Hugo Chavez took over, it was a very rich nation. I mean, they had what they needed. There was nothing going on. I mean, it was good to go. And then Hugo Chavez takes over, and now it's like a third world country. Like it's just not what it should be, or it should have stayed. I think if we go that direction on socialism, we're going to end up just like Venezuela.
I don't think it'll be that bad if it ever went that way. I really don't. I think we'd see a lot of people dead because people still have guns here. They're not giving them up either. So the thing about it is
especially not in Louisiana.
No, not anywhere, to be honest with you, dude, anywhere. I mean, It doesn't matter where you go. There's going to be people with guns in the United States. I mean, preferably more probably in the South. I say that because I live here, but at the same time, I don't think that's true either. You just have less people in the Midwest, too. I mean, less population and things like that. But I've learned a lot about the United States in the last 2 years, and man, nobody, even an animal in your backyard, you're going to have a gun to protect yourself. I mean, when you look at it like that, I mean, when you've got a bunch of people walking in the street, I mean, I'm sorry to say it, white or black, if you're walking in the street with a group of people acting stupid, you're a bunch of animals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, most definitely.
So, I mean, it's the same way. I mean, you could have bobcats and, cougars and leopards and all kind of stuff running in your backyard, and I mean, you're going to protect yourself because, like, you can't just have your kid or even your dog in the backyard.
What's crazy about it is that you got these mayors in these certain cities that are sitting there saying, "Oh, this is peaceful protest."
None of it's peaceful. I mean, it may be peaceful for an hour.
Yeah.
And then after that, people are like, you know what? The first time somebody throws something
or a brick in through a window,
I think a lot of your peaceful goes home. They go home.
Literally out the window.
No, they go home. Yeah. And then after that, you'll see a lot more peaceful people as they're walking home. You'll see a lot of craziness in the middle of that peaceful throwing stuff, and it looks like a riot.
Right.
And I think that's how a lot of it started with Texas and Birmingham. I mean, I still have footage of Birmingham. Birmingham was probably one of the worst ones I've seen. Yeah. But New York was very bad. I mean, Los Angeles was bad, but I mean, I don't think Los Angeles ever doesn't have a riot. They do anything they can to riot. So it's true. I mean, Jacksonville, Florida was bad. Minneapolis, I mean, none of them were good. But the ones, Chicago, I don't know what's up with that. But I mean, like literally.
I have a friend that lives in Chicago, and they had a riot in his area and stuff, and his place of employment got hit hard, man. It looked like he had a video on Facebook about it, and when I tell you, when I saw that, I couldn't believe my eyes because it literally looked like a tornado had passed straight through that store, straight through.
Wow. I mean, here's the thing: people aren't used to vandalism. and the more that vandalism takes place, it's gonna look worse and worse. But the thing is, like, you know, it's just something that I don't think a lot of people understand.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just one of those things, man.
And I think, like, for instance, I'm looking online right now, and this hits me really hard because it's like, it says right here, and this should go for both sides, of whether you're Democrat or Republican, require all three branches of government to obey the Constitution. And it seems like that is, like, veering off. It's like the Constitution don't even matter anymore to certain people.
Yeah.
And to me, that is what's going to bring us down when we have people that are ignoring that document.
Yeah. Well, they ignore a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
and I think that it's kind of like you were talking about earlier. Where people are receiving money from unemployment, and then they're receiving money from their states, and then they're receiving money from Soros probably for some of the riot stuff.
Yeah.
And that's better than their job.
Yeah.
Clearly,
I mean, you're making more money being on unemployment than you are at your own place of employment.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's hell. I mean, who doesn't want to go outside and bust and blow things up all day for a check?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, to me, that's just crazy, but it's true. I mean, they've been doing it for years, like for sure since Trump got positioned.
What you talking about? They started the night he was elected president of the United States.
Yeah, I mean, the
when
footage
when
is
they
there.
announced
I mean,
him president,
it's kind of like
that
the
was a
lady.
wrap.
She's like, who walks 20 miles with flip-flops on?
Yeah.
Like nobody. Like they would be dirty. There's people with brand new sunglasses
the
on
crazy
walking.
thing about it is, let's think of it like this. Let's say if the shoe would be reversed and Hillary would have won, do you think we'd be having these issues today?
I don't think you'd see rioting and protests. I think you would see close maybe to it. But the thing about it is all the stuff is organized.
Yeah.
It's all organized by people who are paid to get it organized.
Right.
Because the one thing I've learned is that, organized is happening today. Like,
oh, most definitely.
and they're all getting government money to do it. Like, there's a couple of even places locally. It's called Vote, VOT. They call themselves Vote. That's what got the Louisiana governor elected.
Yeah.
Because their main branch is in the Orleans Parish area, and that's exactly how many votes he won with.
Yep.
The amount of votes that he actually got out of that area. If you went back in the last 8 years and saw how many people actually voted in that area, there were not 33,000 people. So,
Isn't that
I mean,
insane?
that's the thing. They do get grant money from Bell Edwards,
Yeah.
and they've got it going to where they're trying to pull more people to vote from incarcerated status.
Yeah.
Trying to, basically the second they get incarcerated, after they're trying to get their rights back to get them to start voting. And the people that help you are the people that you're going to think are going to be the right way to vote. And it may be a 4-year problem.
But you know what the crazy thing about it
because you may not have a clue who's really the
well-
one you want to vote for.
Well, not only that, but let's just say, one party does this for these people that are incarcerated. But what if those people are smart enough to realize that this group of people is full of crap, and they vote for the other side?
Yeah,
So you pretty much just help somebody get their voting rights back just for them to go vote for the party you don't want them to vote for.
but that's the thing. You're gonna be thankful because someone tried to reach out to help you to get your rights back that you think are your rights. And
Right.
I mean, half of the people that I know that it's like a woman today in Alabama. She said, "I'm gonna vote in Alabama, but it's almost like I don't even need to because it's like everybody's gonna vote." I'm like, no, you should vote. Like,
Yeah.
don't think that. Don't let
when-
anybody tell you not to
People
vote.
say that your vote doesn't matter. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how
In
people.
fact, to be honest with you, Donald Trump's election should be a great example as that
Yeah.
being bullshit.
Well, really, Trump should be probably winning an award for getting people involved in politics ever. Like, no one I know was even caring about politics until Trump became a president. They started paying attention. So to me, like, if anything, that's one thing he's done. you could say what you want negative about anyone, but honestly, that's one thing he did more than anything. And I think the problem.
It's not just one race either.
No, it's everyone. Like,
Everyone.
it's women, men, young kids, incarcerated. I mean, everyone is paying attention to politics now because it's all that you see.
Yeah.
So, the thing that's funny is that, it's like Diamond and Silk have said in their shows. There is not one person I know that ever said, you know what, I want to be like Joe Biden as a role model. And they say it as a joke, but they really mean what they're saying. So at the same thing, when I hear them say that, it's true. Who in their right mind ever said, oh my God, Joe Biden is the man, let me be like Joe Biden? Nobody's really ever said that.
Nobody.
You have people that are looking up to Donald Trump and the fact of who he's always been.
And it's not necessarily just with the political part of it. I mean, people even look at him when he was just the businessman, Donald Trump.
I was asked probably last year, like, what do you think of Trump? I said, well, in the presidency, I said, well, he's the only guy that he won't need a library to have his name on it. He's got at least 50 other buildings with his name on it. So, you know what I'm saying?
Even though we know he's going to build that library, probably.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't pay to create other libraries, not with any status on it. And the thing about it is he's probably built libraries, but his name is actually on buildings.
Yeah.
So the fact that he becomes president, the guy actually does know what's going on behind the scenes. That's why Hillary Clinton made the comment, "We're all going to hang if he becomes president," because she realized he was there watching what they were doing. They were acting egotistical, acting stupid, all these things that they did. I mean, it's pretty simple to figure it out.
And what's bad is you got people that are for like the Hillarys and the Joe Bidens of the world, and they have no clue and don't realize exactly who these people are. But yet they look at Trump and, oh, he's this and he's that. But really and all truly, you should be looking at the ones you're voting for. Or behind.
Yeah, I mean,
it's also too like the whole tweeting thing. People get so irritated with his tweeting, but this is what this is what I tell people. What would you rather? Turn the TV on and get lied to, or hear it from the horse's mouth?
Here's the thing: you would be lied to if he didn't tweet.
Oh,
because everything that you hear is from a biased standpoint, and it's none of it's true. I remember when they first did all those Megyn Kelly interviews, and that was probably the only thing that was honest. Mm-hmm. To a point, and then look at all the people that got fired just interviewing him. I mean, seriously, and that's the thing, like it changed everything. It changed all of the stuff that we know. And dude, it's only been 4 years.
The President of the United States has changed the landscape of the political platform for both sides.
And that's the thing, like I don't think Donald Trump's a Republican. I think that Donald Trump, actually, if you do the research, he actually wanted to. He was just trying to get in there because I think the first one that would even consider looking at him was it was another party. It was either
the Reform Party.
And the Reform Party didn't like him. They had some issues with him, and that's how the thing about it is they helped him because the Reform Party really they seem like some assholes themselves.
The thing about it is he's been trying to run for president for years. He has just been doing it under the radar.
Yeah, well, I think he's been throwing it out there for a while. I remember last term, I actually heard that somebody threatened him when he tried to run the first time. He was, and that's why it pretty much didn't happen, or the party didn't really want to help or something. So the second time around, apparently the Republicans reached out to him because apparently they didn't have anybody.
Yeah,
or they didn't think they could win with anyone against Hillary. So with what he's done, just with the fact of what he did at the debates, where he took Bill Clinton's, all the women that he's actually treated in a negative manner.
Correct.
Whenever those women, Juanita Broderick and a couple of other women, I think Paula Jones possibly.
Yeah, Paula Jones.
It was there. Hillary didn't even know what to do. Like their faces, like freaked out. Like. They were like, "Are you serious?" Like,
do you know?
They were sitting in the front row watching this.
You know who put him up? Do you know who put Trump up to that? As far as getting Steve Bannon.
Okay.
He worked for the White House for a little while, and he was the one.
It was a great idea.
Yeah, he told President Trump, he was like, get these women in there.
Yeah, I mean,
See how it rolls.
Juanita Broderick over the weekend, ever since the Ghislaine Maxwell thing came out with the PDF form, she said, I've had thousands and thousands of people messaging me and calling me and asking me my thoughts on this Bill Clinton thing, she says, I've been telling y'all this for 20 years. I'm still saying what I'm saying. It's true. Like I'm not sugarcoating it.
And with
if you don't know who Juanita Broderick is, you should.
Yeah.
Or follow her on Twitter. She's amazing.
And what's crazy is she's had that happen to her even when President Clinton was Governor Clinton at the time. That's when that happened to her.
Yeah.
So Bill Clinton's been having his fun for quite some time. And people need to really look at that.
Bill Clinton is a motherfucker. I'll say it like straight up. I mean, he is. I mean, I remember when he played the saxophone on Arsenio Hall show, and people thought that was the coolest thing ever. But he was just good at being political, and that's the thing. Like, but the thing is, like, I think now people are becoming intuitive to the fact of what is slime ball and what is not slime ball. And
I mean, for me, for instance, I mean, if you think about it, that happened in 96, 97 with the whole Monica Lewinsky thing.
Yeah,
I was like 7 years old when that happened, and still to this day, I remember all of that. Even the impeachment, of him going through all of that, and it's like, what kind of, as President of the United States, what kind of role model are you to take this 20-something-year-old intern and you're God knows how old. And
but dude, he's a freak ball. I mean, he in terms of freak ball, I mean, he's like the king of the freak ball. Like, okay, you can't come. The only person that could probably be king of the freak ball, other than Clinton, would be Biden. So, I mean, seriously.
I mean, if we're going to talk about presidents and having affairs, I mean, John Kennedy, man, he was.
Yeah, he was bad. And recently, dude, did you hear that new thing where they're actually saying that Jackie O actually shot him?
No, I did not.
Dude, I got a video of it, and it's pretty trippy.
Really?
Yeah, like literally. They're saying that she was the death blow now.
That's interesting.
Well, it makes it more interesting for all this Q shit because, if Jackie O shot John F. Kennedy in the head, what does that mean for John F. Kennedy Jr.? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's apparently known that himself, like, for a long time, too. And I still don't believe that all these Q people think that John F. Kennedy Jr. is coming back from the grave. And I've already said it. If John F. Kennedy Jr. comes back from the grave, that's going to be the worst thing for Trump ever because it's illegal. Mm-hmm. You can't do that shit. Like, you can't just go,
unless he was
fake my own death and then come back, for 2020 to fight against Hillary. Come on, dude. This isn't like a movie.
No, I mean, and who knows? You could have been in the witness protection program too.
No, dude.
I mean,
no. I mean, from the research, I did quite a bit of research on Junior, and Junior and his wife were not very. They were fighting a little bit because apparently he's even asked the media. He came out a couple times. I got the video footage of him saying, "Look, y'all, you need to chill out, please," trying to chill out with him because she apparently didn't like it. She didn't know if he wanted to have a child. She didn't want to have a child because of the media coverage, and then he kept getting higher up the status, and she probably knew that it was only getting worse.
Almost like Princess Diana, almost in a way.
In a way, but probably, I would say so because I mean, there's no telling what Diana really went through. If we had tweets now, oh my God, Diana would have probably been like the most popular thing on the planet. Yeah. She's pretty popular without the Twitter. So,
and isn't it amazing all these years now that she's still talked about still to this day?
I mean, I never really I get it now, but I think she was hinting around. People talk all this crap about the doctor a week ago about the demon semen and all that stuff, but I mean, realistically, Diana even said that they weren't human. She stated that. I mean, David Icke's been stating it forever. So Diana even said they weren't human. There's footage of it. I've seen it. So I was like, okay, wow, and now people are talking about it again. But the thing about it is I really don't know how else you can lie about that over and over again. But to me, that's an easy way to give people oh, like that's true, and oh, like that's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It just gives them an easy way of saying that, oh, we're not going to believe that, and it's not real, you know. The hydroxychloroquine thing is definitely the biggest talk of the month. And I'm going to tell you.
Speaking of that, you heard that Lafayette General is like shooting it down. That it's.
I think Lafayette General are just completely fucking crazy. that advocate article, it literally looks like it was meant to be bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like looking at a lot of footage on a regular basis and looking at that article, 4 guys standing there in like, you know, hazmat suits with their picture taped to their chest of who they really are to show you who they really are. Guys, this is not like Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. It's kind of what it reminded me of. You know, like we're in a viral laboratory where Resident Evil busted open a window and all of a sudden it got out the window and everybody started turning into zombies. It's not even like I wouldn't be wearing shorts next door to Lafayette General because my office is next door to Lafayette General. So you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and I see people on the articles, old elderly people going, "Is this really what they have to wear?"
Mm-hmm.
And they're lying to these people.
Yeah, I think if wearing a mask is important as far as if you're around those who do have the virus. But I mean, as far as this whole body suit thing is just.
I went to Richetto's over the weekend. Okay, I walked in there. I walked literally freaking 20 feet to sit at a table and took a mask, like a little bullshit mask off. If you think that I'm going to catch a virus from the moment that I go into a door to walk to sit at a table, that's bullshit, man. Like, I'm sorry. I don't have an issue with it. I mean, I'll wear one to go get some lettuce, you know? But, I mean, for real, like, it's not helping anybody.
Well, you know, it's like certain stores even, you know, I don't know if you've noticed this recently, but, like, certain stores you have to walk in a certain way just because of the, you know, the you know, like the walking in, and it's like you got to go a certain way, and then they're like, okay, you got to go in this way, but you got to come out that way, and it's like, man,
it's dumb,
you know,
dude.
We really don't need all that.
I mean, okay, here's where you know it's stupid. You walk into Walgreens, okay? Mm-hmm. You walk up to the thing, and you've got this plastic wrap thing so people can't see them enter their PIN number.
Yeah.
But yet the damn plastic thing is probably made of COVID. It's been touched by 50 people in an hour, okay? Like, if you want to put a mask on something, let everybody that walks in the store not touch that thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, people.
Okay.
That's the thing. I mean,
remove it every time.
You got a mask on, not to get germs, but yet you're touching other things going. You know, like
I can understand telling people, hey, you know what? Everybody buys one of these. We'll give you a discounted cost or something, and it's basically so you don't have to touch the gas pumps and the plastic things for the numbers.
I have to say,
if you want to do that, I'm all for it. I'm like, awesome. You know, that makes sense.
It was so funny to me.
The mask is not doing shit.
Yeah, no. And what's funny to me is that there was a certain restaurant in the area where I went in one time, and they literally had shower curtains in between.
Oh, I saw it.
Tables, and it's like, what is that gonna help with?
When I went in the post office and saw the vinyl shower curtains, I was like, well, shit, at least y'all won't mildew. They didn't think it was too funny. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I just, you know, then I see these articles about narcissism and psychopaths, and I even wrote one. I put it out, and I was like, hey, you know what? I found out today I'm a psycho. So, I mean, seriously, like, I just, I don't even know how to say it. It's one of those things where it's one of those things where you know it's not something you want to do. Mm-hmm. All of your friends are doing it, but you don't want to do it. But yet everybody thinks you're stupid because you don't do it. And then your friends start doing it, and it's like, you can't come. Why are you not wearing this, dude? Why you don't have your bracelet on? You know,
when I walk into public place, and if I could take it off, I will take it off. Like, I'm not gonna walk around like it's just. If I'm meant to get sick, then
right.
I mean,
it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know what, dude, it's like I wrote the other day. You're either gonna die judged or you're gonna die judgmental.
Yeah. Well,
because it's true.
Here's the deal.
It's gonna happen.
And what's crazy about it is you got the governors, getting on TV and saying, wear a mask, you're protecting other people. Well, if that's the case, then we should have been wearing masks for years now. Because what if, like, you have the flu?
Well, the thing that's funny to me is that, like, okay, like, the flu season it actually wasn't that as bad as it normally is. And it probably has something to do with the fact that people were washing their hands more. I know people were washing their hands more because all of my clients were running out of paper towels faster. So when I started looking at the numbers, I was like, dude, they really are washing their hands more. We had more trash cans to clean, and we had more stuff to, get rid of.
What was crazy is when this coronavirus came, everybody was buying toilet paper. That's what
I know, but that's stupid people. Like no, it's just
you would think
that's the first thing they think about. If I can't take a crap, what am I gonna do? Like really? Like it's true. Like if I can't take a crap, what am I gonna do? So I'm gonna go. Like I saw people hoarding it, and then like they only could buy 2, and then they would go meet at the Sam's the freaking gas pumps. They would meet the people, and they would bring 3 more. Or 2 more, and they would go back in the store and get some. I was watching this. I was like, "This is sick."
It's crazy to see people the way they act about certain things.
I just think it's not your place to tell other people what to do.
No,
it's just not. That's my whole beef with this. Like you're not. It's not your place to tell other people to wear a mask. And I see people in the KATC, and the KLFY comments talking crap all day about it, and realistically, when I looked into it, really, one of them's not even a liberal. She's a hardcore Republican, and like seriously, like she's making herself look like an asshole because like literally she's just thinking about herself.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of parents that have children that have immunity problems. They went hardcore on the Facebook about people not wearing masks and not caring about other people. But realistically, you're only caring about yourself. You're not caring about anybody else other than your own family.
This is a good point I brought up the other day to someone, actually my barber actually. When you have children like with special needs, you got some of them that don't even know what's going on and don't understand. And it's like, how do you think you're going to put a mask on these children? Because they're gonna just.
I don't know, dude. I mean, like, to me, it makes it harder on a teacher and a principal for sure. Because I can't believe that a kid would wear a mask all day.
I mean, just for me by myself. I mean,
unless
it's
you
hard for me to wear a mask.
Scare them to death and tell them they're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you don't want to do that.
And that's the thing they're probably doing.
Yeah.
Because I see some of these kids in masks, and it's like, dude. But the thing that I think about is law enforcement, first of all, like they're getting treated like shit. Second of all, you got all these people in masks. If you're trying to positive ID anyone in an Amber Alert, I mean, how the hell are you going to find these people?
With a big old mask on.
Not just that. I mean, who's coming across, where they're not supposed to be? Like, he had a mask on.
And then they're even saying
he's supposed to have a mask on.
And they even
the governor said make him wear one. That's what That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like there's no way this is real.
Some medical people are even saying that even wearing a mask could even hurt you too.
You got to talk to it on the side.
Oh,
it's better for you. Yes, he's all holding the microphone like he's Bobby Brown and shit. If you talk on the side, it's better. Yeah, you're perfect.
Perfect like that. Can you hear me now?
No, do it again.
Right here.
Yeah. No, like turn it sideways, like move into it right there.
Right there?
Yeah, better.
Okay.
Y'all can hear me better now, right? Nobody gives a shit. But no, seriously, the thing is, I think, because dude, I'm really, I don't tell people what to do. I don't feel like I have the right to tell people, hey, you should do this. If I do tell you that, it's probably because you've got an axe and you're trying to kill someone. other than that, like I don't really feel like I have the right to tell anybody what to do because
Well,
I just don't want to be that asshole.
well, the problem is you got
Unless you're working for
you
my
have
ass.
certain groups that are going to sit there and say, don't take away my rights or things like that, but are going to agree to wear masks and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, well, if you don't want us telling you what to do, then who are you to tell us what to do? If we don't want to do that, then that should be how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't believe in this thing that, oh, well, you need to wear a mask. No, I don't. If I'm supposed to get sick, I'm going to get sick no matter what. So what happens if I go home and I'm in my little area and then all of a sudden the next day I get sick? Well, that's on me. That's not on anybody else.
Your mother is online talking shit about you, about that one.
I'm
I'm gonna
not
read it. What it
surprised.
says. It says, "Well, the dude don't shut up," and it says, "Trust me, I know. I lived with him for 30 years. He hasn't shut his mouth since the day he was born." And I write, "Well, they do say that quite a bit about myself, so I would keep quiet on that one because I know. I mean, I think I got divorced because I talked too much once. No, no, I'm just joking." But seriously,
I think that's why you and I get along so well is because we could talk and it's like
well, I mean, dude, like the other day we did a 6-hour podcast and they were like, "Are you good?" I was like, "Well, I'm good. I don't care." The only thing I was thinking about was a hamburger. So, like, I mean,
this dude right here will eat hamburgers and he will go to different places and eat hamburgers and
people don't believe it.
He is a hamburger freak.
People don't believe it, Tristan. They don't. I'm serious. There's a lot of people who think we're full of shit.
Yeah.
But it's not a joke.
I still think Fat Pat's has the best hamburgers.
I don't. But I
knew he was going to say that.
The older I
that's why
get, I'm
said it.
becoming more honest. To me,
my
nobody
question-
has the best hamburger. I'm sorry. I
Well,
gotta
where's
say
your favorite
that.
place to eat a hamburger?
I don't have a favorite place.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I like hamburgers, but I'm more of a pizza guy. I like eating pizza. That's like my favorite thing.
Now, be careful what city you say that in.
Yeah.
With the whole Pizzagate thing.
Well, oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. I didn't think of it that way.
That's funny.
That's interesting. That is interesting.
Oh, shit. Okay, no, but I mean, it's true. I'm laughing, but it's true. Like, people really have no idea what Pizzagate is or anything like that. And,
If you don't know what it is, I think you should look it up.
well, it's kind of screwed up. I mean, basically, they talk about pedophiles and right now there's voodoo. What is it? Voodoo Donuts in Portland, Oregon. I think there's another one in another city, possibly
Wouldn't surprise me.
in Austin, Texas. That everybody's like online going, "Oh yeah, there's some weird shit going on over there." Like
Well, in those areas, there is really a lot of weird shit going on over there.
yeah, and to me, like, all these protest areas to me are like, it's easy to do trafficking if you've got a ton of people in protest with no police department.
But
I mean, they're making. I mean, if they are, that's a pretty hardcore operation if they're doing that.
I think the president was right too, as far as beefing up security at the border, because I think the border was a very
Well, dude, you
big
got everybody
hotspot.
wearing masks. Everybody's wearing masks.
Yeah. Well, but that's before the coronavirus came into play. What I'm talking about, it was a very big hotspot for trafficking.
Dude, California. I mean, look at that 200. I don't know how far it was. 200 something feet tunnel under the California border.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, there's so much stuff like that.
Yeah.
That people just really have no idea that this has been going on for a long time. I remember. Look, I saw it happen in Lafayette. I saw it happen in Lafayette pretty bad, and I saw it stop too. And it's because of Trump.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that y'all are bitching about, your kids and y'all would have been affected by now if Trump wouldn't be in office.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. He if anything I can say, he's not very verbal about it.
Right.
But I think he is going to be the one president that stopped trafficking in the United States and probably Venezuela too.
Yeah.
Because everything I've seen about the guy, everything he does is about trafficking. He just knows that he can't come out and be Mr. Superman because y'all aren't ever going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly.
He's got to be an asshole because he can't get what he wants if he's not an asshole.
The thing about it is we didn't elect him to be Mr. Nice Guy either.
I don't think we did. I think that people elected him because they know he was pretty prominent in business.
I don't remember who it was.
That's really why they elected him.
In fact, it was Michael Moore. That's who.
Don't even mention his name. He's an idiot.
No, he is an idiot. But he did say right after the election that this was the biggest fuck you to both establishments by the Trump winning the election.
Well, that's like the smartest thing the guy's ever said.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Michael Moore doesn't.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, big time idiot.
I mean,
but and what's funny about it is you have these news stations that sit there and say, oh well, Michael Moore just knows the average worker. He knows all how they and it's like. No, he doesn't. The man is a celebrity.
He doesn't know shit.
He has no idea.
He really doesn't. I mean, if you want to know somebody who knows something, ask people that are like in their 60s and 70s that lost their ass on like Acorn and all these other things that Bush brought through.
Or just
ask
listen
those
to
people. They know.
Or just listen to Ricky Gervais.
Well, he's hardcore on what's going on right now.
Yeah, but
dude,
it's funny to hear him.
All the old investment bullshit that they did to steal money from thousands of people, that those people will never forget that. I mean, and right now, all they're doing is crippling the minds of people and programming them for new shit. I mean, I still think that we've got some really interesting things coming up that we don't know we have coming up. We're not going to put that all in one podcast. We're going to talk about it in the future. So
it's
I've got some new videos that are about to come out that are going to blow people away. So I mean, and they've been fun, but we're going to go live on them so people can chat and we can talk to them because I think that's it's a really fun component. And we just bought a new router. And actually,
new router, he just bought it right before we came on air.
Yeah, I literally bought it like 5 seconds before we even hit the play button. And I think we're going to do some Zoom podcasting where everybody sits at a conference table and we're all going to have our faces in it, and you'll be able to see it.
And I think at some point we'll even have some special guests on the podcast as well. We'll get to that point.
We're probably going to have people call in too. So there's about 3 or 4 things I want to do that I don't think anyone has ever done. So I want to do them, and one of them is going to be super weird. So get ready. It's going to be weird.
This should be interesting.
Yeah. And that's, it's true.
I think one of the podcasts we should do is talk about our local elections as well.
Well, we can, but dude, honestly, I could talk about that a little bit, but I want to get out with my camera and really, really talk to people and see what they really are thinking locally. Because you can go downtown Lafayette and ask someone a question, but they're going to have their own mindset of what they think. Lafayette Parish is not downtown Lafayette. I just want to say that. It's not. It's one strip of people that literally all think very similar views, and they really have. They think they have the most voice in the city, but they really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, so just the truth.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
I mean, what does downtown Lafayette consist of? 3 bars?
Probably so.
That's it.
I couldn't tell you the last time I've been downtown because it's just got.
I don't go. I mean,
it's gotten crazier and crazier.
I mean, I try not to go too much.
I mean, when you got
unless you like the green room or something.
Well, the problem is that you still have these kids that are going out and doing the craziest things. I mean, about a month or so ago, I mean, before the bars closed back down, I mean, they had a gun that was shot downtown, and I'm sure people freaked out when that happened.
Well, dude, that happens all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, downtown, as far as
I think that's why they made a little video, a tourism video of downtown, and underneath it I wrote, "Until you get downtown and you get shot at the festival." No, I don't mean to be. I mean, but I kind of wrote that. I was like, yeah, y'all should include that other thing that happens downtown.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just one of those things.
To me, it's one of those things.
It happens anywhere. It really does happen everywhere. But for some reason here, it does happen during certain times.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to me, and I think the laws in our community don't exactly help the victim so much.
I think we should be worrying about,
And I'm speaking from experience on that.
instead of worrying about statues, I think we should worry about trying to secure our downtown area. That way, people can feel safe going down there.
Well, we shouldn't worry about statues at all. I understand why people are worried about them, but to be honest with you, the living people need to be worried about more than something that's not living.
Exactly.
So
That is for sure.
And with that, we will end this shit. So, did you have fun?
Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
You sure?
I did. Totally did.
And you have been listening to the podcast with Kevin,
Interesting.
Tristan, and we talked about quite a few things because we talk a lot.
That we do.
We try not to jump around too much, but we definitely will be coming back to you in the future. And you'll probably be able to find us on just about every platform except Apple. I'm trying not to be on Apple, but I'm probably going to have to be forced to get on it soon.
I just got me an Apple
Any stock that Bill Gates owns, I won't go
I'll
there.
do it.
I'm actually going to start a petition to make him sell his Wendy's stock, just so I can possibly get the game class.
Well, I think this was a fun night.
Yeah,
I think it was really cool
yeah. Well,
for the first time.
we didn't fuck Tristan.
Well, it's the first podcast I've ever done.
But no, I'm sorry. That's just too funny. I'm like, I'll call you next week. Cool. Y'all, thank y'all for listening. Listen again very soon. We could probably try to do this once a week or maybe something like that. And if it's not the same people, it's going to be different. We're going to try to keep things going so people can listen because they want to hear more stuff. So have a good week, or try to.
Goodbye.
Have a good night.